Welcome back, folks. Be sure 94 with another WCW Monday Nitro here in July, week 2 of 2002. We are in front of about 6,500 people today for this Nitro. Uh, First off, I want to say thank you to everybody for hitting that like goal for the last video, as well as the views were fantastic. This one, we're going to shoot for at least about 10 to 15 likes. Please make sure you're commenting any ideas that you guys have for the stream or for the channel as well as the show, so that way I can add them in where I can. But we're going to jump into Monday Nitro here. We have 3 title matches. The first one is opening the show, so in a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Mark Jindrak defeats Kaz Hayashi for the TV Championship in 1804 by pinfall with a mark of excellence. Jindrak makes defense number 1. This was the rematch for Kaz Hayashi, as he did lose to Mark Jindrak 2 weeks ago on the first Nitro after Great American Bash. Kaz Hayashi got us a 68, Jindrak a 58. Storyline has advanced for the sort, but I figured with 3 title matches, why not change up the process a little bit and start with the title matches. And we get a backstage promo from the Steiner brothers talking about the Militia, hyping up their tag team title match later on tonight, as Scott and Rick Steiner get another shot at the Militia. A couple months ago, these two teams had a huge feud, which led to a triple threat tag team title match, and the Steiner brothers did not win that one. But this is kind of their shot to get a straight up shot for the belts. Both storylines have advanced, the tag titles and the Militia, and this segment got a 62 rating. So good stuff out of these guys here. We get an in-ring promo from Jeff Jarrett and BG James on the Rhodes family and why they did what they did to them, leaving them as bloody messes in the ring, turning on their own and Dustin Rhodes. And they said that, with Dustin being weak and showing that he was more loyal to his father than this group, we had to cut that situation out of this dynasty. And what we did to both him and Dusty Rhodes is just the beginning of the chaos that we are going to ensue here in World Championship Wrestling. And we hope that we never have to see the Rhodes family ever again here in professional wrestling. Storyline has advanced but did lose heat. Only a 54 segment, a little disappointing there, but that's all right. The storyline will kind of pick up speed once we get moving towards the pay-per-view. RVD then interrupts after the promo and challenges Jeff Jarrett to a match from next. Jeff Jarrett does accept, as this will be Jeff Jarrett's first match back since being injured. The story has advanced and gained heat, so having RVD with a little bit of a little rub on the storyline here gives us a good segment rating, and we get a nice TV match. So 71 rating out of RVD challenging Jeff Jarrett. And about the head, fantastic heat and great wrestling. Jeff Jarrett defeats Rob Van Dam in 9:36 by pinfall with a surprise roll-up. Jeff Jarrett at 67, RVD in 84. The match got the crowd hotter with a 75 segment rating. I know it seems like I gave Rob Van Dam a loss here for no reason, but there is a reason, and you will see shortly. But Jeff Jarrett gets a nice win on his return match here on Nitro. It's been about a month or so since he's been able to wrestle, so wanted to get him back wrestling and have him kind of get a win. So good stuff out of both guys, and we got a great segment rating. So okay, perfect. As Jeff Jarrett and BG James are walking away up the ramp victory, Rob Van Dam is disappointed looking at the ramp as he turns around and eats a big scissors kick from Booker T, who is returned to World Championship Wrestling, and hits a bookend on Rob Van Dam, leaving him laying as him and Sharmell stand tall to end the segment. Dynasty Storm has advanced and gained heat, and Rob Van Dam versus Booker T has started. 71 segment. Booker T has come back to World Championship Wrestling. It's been a couple months now since we've seen him since Slammiversary, and he came back coming after Rob Van Dam. We get a quick from the commercial break, and we try to catch up with Booker T and Sharmell. And Booker T just says he came back and he wanted to make an impact, and he felt that Rob Van Dam was the perfect guy to make that impact. Nothing personal against Rob, but it had to happen. Steiner has advanced and gained heat, 74 segment rating there. This will be an interesting feud going into Bash at the Beach between two of our top guys. In a decent match, Ken Shamrock defeats Elix Skipper in 8-16 by submission with an ankle lock. Ken Shamrock at 55, Elix at 62, the announcing quality to the match, 62 segment rating. I hate to give Elix Skipper a loss here, but I had to give Shamrock someone to face. And they both, actually Skipper was a great hand in this and made Shamrock look really good. So I'll take it. Shamrock gets another TV win as he's been very dominant since his debut here in World Championship Wrestling. Post-match, the Hurricane shows up on the top rope after the lights go out. Shamrock kind of looks confused and rolls out of the ring. The Shamrock and Hurricane storyline has advanced. The segment gained heat. The Hurricane was superb working without a script, and he had the crowd in the palm of his hand the entire time. 70 segment rating. We're definitely going to be leading towards the superhero, the Hurricane, facing off against the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, at Bash at the Beach. But this storyline is going to be a very slow build to it because I want to make this kind of, I don't want to make a collision course out of it, but you know, if he's going to be the superhero of the company, he's got to be able to do something that builds to him facing Shamrock. So 70 segment though is very nice. We get an in-ring promo from Shane and Bam Bam Bigelow about the Dudley Boys and attacking them last week, and they said that, you know, they beat them down in ECW, and the only reason why the Dudleys became household names is because we left that company, and they were able to shine because the two real stars of the company had left. And the only reason why they beat us in the tables match is because that's their specialty. We're not in our specialty match, and we agreed that that would not happen. 63 segment rating. Storyline has advanced. The Dudley Boys interrupt, and they give the challenge for next week, as the Dudleys will challenge Shane and Bam Bam Bigelow to a singles match next week on Nitro. And we actually have two matches we have to pre-book because we have the U.S. title match also next week, where Mike Awesome will challenge the Guido for the U.S. Championship. There. Match. We're really starting to kind of make Nitros feel more important rather than just kind of thrown together. I'll not say thrown together, but just, you know, really making things be led to from the last show, so that way there's more build to Nitro. Cool. Here we go. 59 segment there, and the storyline has advanced. We get a backstage segment that says Guido, since he doesn't have to defend his championship tonight, he wants Berlin to go take care of the task that he gave him. And they tell us Ray Gonzalez and Super Crazy that he'll personally be out there to help them make sure they retain their WCW Tag Team Championships against the Steiner brothers. All three storylines have advanced, 67 overall rating here. So we're not sure what that task is from Berlin, but I'm sure if you know the Militia at this point, I'm sure you could figure out what that task probably is. And in about that had good heat and decent wrestling. The Militia defeat the Steiner brothers in 12:38 when Super Crazy pins Rick Steiner with a trifecta moonsault. The Militia makes defense number 2. Scott Steiner carried the match in ring performance. Rick Steiner was the weak link. This did have some interference from Guido to cause this match to go this way. Rick Steiner a 51, Scott a 78, Super Crazy a 62, Ray Gonzalez a 61. Both storylines have advanced, and the Steiner brothers have great chemistry. 70 overall segment rating. Great tag team match here for the belts. Militia retained, but it gives us a reason to potentially revisit this match down the road because, again, they got screwed out of the match. We get a kind of a segment with Paul Heyman backstage saying that He has tried to get Kevin Nash to show up this week to discuss his actions against Scott Hall. Kevin Nash has refused to show up, but due to contract obligations, Heyman is forcing him to show up next week to Monday Nitro to explain his actions. 70 rating, the Outsider storyline has advanced. In about the head great heat and decent wrestling, Sting defeats Billy Kidman in 741 by pinfall with a Scorpion Death Drop. Sting a 76, Kidman a 49. Sting and Kidman have good chemistry, and Sting is getting better at his gimmick. 68 overall segment rating here. Sting hasn't wrestled on Nitro in a while, and I felt like, you know what, might as well have him and, give Kidman a good spot too on the card. Yeah, he loses, but he's facing the icon Sting, so it's kind of a win-win scenario there. His rating was a little low. I was kind of disappointed by that by Kidman, but that's okay. Post-match, as Sting is celebrating in the ring, Chris Kanyon cuts a promo on him from the rafters, pretty much talking down to Sting and saying that you're not the only one who can hide in the shadows, and that if you think that this is far from over from our story, this is not going to happen. I beat you at the pay-per-view, and you keep on haunting me, and that at Bash at the Beach, we will find out who really is the best between yourself and me. 71 overall segment rating there. Chris Kanyon, Sting story has advanced. Kanyon is obviously going to be facing Sting again. And we'll see kind of what we do with that. I haven't decided on where we're going for the most part with this, but we'll piece it together. Backstage, you see Berlin brawling with Mike Awesome. As kind of security and agents show up, they kind of break it up, as Berlin then hits Mike Awesome with a pipe in the arm, clearly injuring Mike Awesome's left arm as he gets pushed away by referees and agents. So clearly that was the task at hand, sent to Berlin by the Guido, was to attack Mike Awesome and weaken him for next week. Both storylines have advanced. 68 overall segment. America's Most Wanted is WCW bound. We're just going to ignore the segment rating there. Just ignore that. We're not going to talk about it. But America's Most Wanted is coming. Okay. Mitchell cuts a promo backstage, knows that Mysterio is injured after last week, and that Abyss will now have a wounded animal to attack on here in the main event for the WCW Championship, and that he already destroyed Mysterio when he was 100%. Will have any chance against the monster when he's 50%. 51 segment rating. Storyline has advanced but lost heat. And in a main event about that fantastic heat and great wrestling, Rey Mysterio Jr. defeats Abyss in 13:08 by countout. Rey Mysterio Jr. had in performance 78, Abyss is 72. Storyline has advanced and gained heat. Mysterio worked through his injury, took a big toll. 77 overall in the match. The way that we kind of set this up was Mysterio was able to hit a big 619 on Abyss, which then he had a drop kick to hit Abyss out of the ring, which then made Abyss not get back in the ring in time for the 10 count, which, yes, Rey Mysterio gets the win, but he is not the WCW champion. And we end the show with Rey Mysterio celebrating in the ring, but upset that he is not the champion, as Abyss escapes with the WCW championship. Storyline has advanced but lost heat. James Mitchell was superb working without a script, and 72 overall segment. Let's see what we get for an overall show rating. Let's hope for over 72. 75, okay. We increased our popularity in 15 regions. We'll fix all this stuff. I've been working on it as best of my ability. Thank you everybody for coming here for the Nitro. I know you guys have been really kind of on it with making sure that you guys are watching the videos and keeping up with the show, so I greatly appreciate it. Let's keep pushing those like goals and commenting if you have any ideas, because I'm open to everything. And I appreciate all of you guys for coming through as much as you guys are. And next Sunday we'll have another